Hey, what's up, guys? YouTube. So, this is I guess the second phase of getting this damn car ready. So, as you can see here, VQ throttle by wire throttle body. Not gonna use it. I have my 90mm Q45 throttle body, one that I had on the other car. Oh, that was just a thing. Okay, so anyhow, so as you can see, the massive difference between the two. I guess that's, like a 60, and it actually opens up, so it's ported. So like, if you look at this, you can see how it's wider and then it narrows in, if you look straight at it, So anyhow, so it's really not even, that big. But regardless of the case, this is what I'm dealing with. So I ended up ordering a whole bunch of cheap shiny parts. This is your standard mill of the way, even though I could probably open the other one. Just, some aluminum piping, whatever, to do this. So my ideas are, which I need the 45 to come out. This guy, 45, I want to do something like that. I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of hard. So I do something like that, have that come there, and then throttle body shooting down. That actual curve actually works pretty nice, but things are gonna change because that flange there, what do you call it? You don't want to weld this straight, because then if, let's say, you want to get to these, what do you call it, cops, coil and plug, coils, whatever, you'll need to basically unbolt, and this thing's got literally, I've changed the manifold gaskets on those cars before, and it's, as you can see, all the 10 bolts that go around and there, there's quite a few to take off that upper plenum. So that's just going to be too much. So in order to, kind of get away from that, is I went and I bought this. This is called the throttle body spacer for, this car's. But I'm using it as a flange. And the reason why I went with this, because it was actually cheaper to get this flange than buying, this spacer, than buying an actual throttle body flange. So I bought this. That's, let me see if I do that. This end, I'm gonna weld to that. You see it kind of fits perfect, so I can get to the bolts and, do whatever I need to do to make that work. Then, then I needed a flange for the Q45. Well, kind of see that, you can see the difference between the two. And of course, if you were to go like this, that's a lot of, damn it, I'm fucking up the car. That's a lot of filler material that, you're going to be looking to put in. So, I ended up ordering an aluminum 3.5 to 3 inch, reducer. So, if you can imagine, that's what it's going to be. And then, of course, be like this. I can get it to, bolt up, whatever the case may be. So I'm gonna have this reducer after here, and then, oh man, see what happens when you got all this. I want to get this throttle body, something like that, facing down that way, and then that's just gonna be, it could be a straight shot, or it could be, whatever. Maybe I can get a 45-degree coupler. I haven't, got to that level yet. or that line. But basically, I'll do it like this. It looks cleaner. Have it mount like that, and then the piping going up. So that's my next steps. The only thing I'm waiting for now is the reducer. So at least I got, you know, this pipe. I bought a whole kit because it was cheaper in the long run. The reason why I say that is because all I needed was this piece from there to here, then weld that. But then I'm also going to do this bottom one because this is the original hot side on the KAs. And so as you can see, it's like 1 3/4 piping, and then it opens up, oh, I don't know if we can see, to 3-inch, you know, somewhere around this bend. So what I'm gonna do is just cut and start welding back and you know, doing the material. So at least once I'm done, I'll have a flange up there, have that pipe welded to this flange here, and then have that throttle body, you know, bolted to that. And if I ever need to do any work or whatever, then you know, I can unbolt that. But this is the dilemma that I started happening, or not happening, but you know, that I just don't like, because coming up from here is going to be 3 inches of pipe. Then it's going to go to 3.5 inch for the throttle body, and then from the throttle body it's going to go back down to 3. Or if you look at it this way, hot air blows out of that magical unit, comes around through that IC, whoosh, and then comes up, and then just from here, that's going to be 3-inch piping. It's going to go to 3.5 inch wider piping, but then come back down. So it's going to have like a little opening at, I mean, it's you can kind of think of it as a little bit of a restriction, but in a sense it kind of isn't, because it's not the diameter of the pipe after it goes big, it's still going to be the same size as what fed it. So it isn't, it's going to look tacky, yes. I don't like it, but I'm kind of limited on intake manifold space there, as you see, because in order for me to do that, let's see, let's go back here to this drawing plan. We need this guy, and as you can see, there's not that much material to really make that work. And then that'd also be a lot of porting out, and you know, it's just, you know, it's just something that isn't what do you call it, really possible with this manifold. Maybe it is, I don't know. I'm not gonna go through that, because I figured that instead of putting my time and effort and trying to make that work, to, you know, let's say accept this flange, what I will do is see about rebuilding, or not rebuilding, but you know, making an intake manifold. And it's the same thing. There's, what I would like to do is, you see how when you go in there you can't get to these injectors, but some of the you know, like the V8s and stuff, they'll go and they'll come up at an angle coming up. The only issue with that is hood clearance, because you know, look how that thing's very, you know, flat. So trying to make something where you have enough plenum, I guess, area, you know, enough area inside the plenum, but then having something to where you can get to the injectors with ease, then not having it, you know, like sitting up this high is an issue. So now as I'm speaking with you guys, with it, I think regardless of what, it's always going to be an issue, just naturally how tall this whole motor is in you know, relation to this car. So eventually I will need to, I would say, notch out the hood and do that, and then probably just put like a little cowl, you know, just make it look stock, nothing crazy, no, you know, like high shit to where if I'm driving, this is like the top of the hood. But you know, in order to get some clearance for that, that's what I need to do, because even I've always tried sitting the motor lower, and if I try going lower, it's going to hit the cross member. Small thing, no big deal. Do a little bit of body work, clean it up, make it look pretty. But you know, again, like I always said, this is a street driven car. I don't want to have just an open hood and, you know, possibility of water and other types of contaminants and whatnot, you know, getting into this engine bay that don't need to be there. So that's what's up. Hopefully I get this part tomorrow. Maybe I could mock this up. I mean, it's the test of time, because it's going to be my first time building welding aluminum. So, well, I tested aluminum, but I can't really test because I need something practical, like what I'm trying to do, and then I'm more involved with it. So once I get that, you know, tested with, then hopefully I can run some decent beads. And I mean, I got enough pipe. And the good thing about this too is, if I need a section off, you know, some of this pipe, or even I got that bead, you know, that I could roll. I have these, you know, beads, so the couplers won't slip, you know, when I'm hitting 14 pounds, which that would probably never do unless it's a real slack thing. But maybe later down the road, if I hit 30 pounds on this, well, not that motor, because I don't think 30 psi from an HX52, which is a 67 millimeter turbo, I don't think that stock internals are gonna hold. But that's what's up. So hopefully we'll see what's going on. All right, guys, like.